And we have returned. You're listening to CSC Talk Radio. Now, the purpose of today's show is to kind of pique your interest and let you know that we really do need to study our Constitution. And I say we, I mean me. We really need to keep that going. We have to keep that fresh in our minds. It was kind of a joke this morning. I couldn't think of names every time I was trying to think of it. So my person that's helping me here in the office, Rudy, he decided to put a name tag on just in case I forgot his name. So some days we're just a little foggy. But I do want to emphasize that this is a beautiful board game. And you need to think about this really hard. And all of my Made in America products, everybody, I've kept the promo code the same for everyone. So you don't have to question it. It's just simply my name, Beth Ann. Now, just one word, Beth Ann is going to get it. That is my first and middle name, but just put them together, Beth Ann. All right, we do have a caller, Roger from Colorado, that thinks he has the answer to the second question. Roger, how are you today?
Gee, thanks for having me on, ladies. It's so good to hear you, Beth Ann, and your guests. Thanks for putting out that game.
You're welcome.
I'll tell you, about 30 years or more, I've had a Constitution in my glove box, my briefcase. There's one sitting on the shelf right over here. However, I thought I would go ahead and, since I don't have a photographic memory, try and at least remember this. It says somewhere in there, unanimous declaration. So the answer is 13.
Oh, no, that's the wrong answer.
Oh, well, then I guess I better break out my Constitution.
You better read it again, yeah. We all need a little refresher course. There's no shame in that, Roger. Thank you.
That was enlightening. Have a good morning, ladies.
Thank you. You keep listening. You might get the next one, okay?
I always do listen. Bye-bye now.
All right, bye-bye. All right. The question is, once again, I'm going to have you read it, Pam.
You know what? I'm going to have Dave read it. Is that good?
That's fine, yeah. Join in, Dave.
I think what Roger was thinking about was the Articles of Confederation.
Yes.
So he has a deeper memory than he knows, but he just didn't connect it with the Constitution. So, all right. Now, Pam, you were talking about the beauty of the game, and there was this one gal that came to an event. She said she just wanted to buy the game because it was so beautiful to put on her coffee table.
Yeah.
And so it really kind of threw me a little bit because, I said, well, the real beauty of the game is what's inside, is all the information. And just to connect what you said earlier about how pertinent it was to the election yesterday and what's going on in current events, we chose the game and picked the questions based on the text of the Constitution. And no matter what times you're living in, it's pertinent to what's going on. And so those people that say that it's a dusty old document and it's not pertinent to the lives of citizens today are totally wrong, because a lot of these things that are pertinent today and the questions in the Constitution that are 241 years old are appropriate now, and even as pertinent as yesterday's election, as you pointed out in the first question. So there's tons of questions in there that are maybe historical, but are pertinent to what's going on in the lives of people today. So it's not a dusty old document. It's something that everyone needs to know in order to do a better job.
Right.
In
that is something that bothered me about Justice Ginsburg, because she made the comment here several years ago that it's an out-of-date document and it need to be updated, and that's a scary thought. So let's go ahead and read number 2, and then I have a question for you. Let's go ahead and read number 2 again, Dave.
How many states of the original 13 were needed to approve the Constitution? A, 7, B, 9, or C, all 13?
All right. And I had a question for you. As you were talking about this, and you've been talking about putting this game together, how many times did you need to read through the Constitution in order to create this game?
Oh, you know what? I can't really tell you how many times.
I didn't figure you'd have a number.
That it was needed, because it's something that, I was also a high school government teacher for special ed needs students.
Right.
And so I taught English and for the ninth graders and the whole phonics approach, but also government and econ. So it was something that we read in the class all the time and discussed it as well, what the meaning was. So how many times we read the Constitution, wow, I couldn't really tell you. Just over and over.
I have directed choirs in the past, and when I was directing a cantata for like Christmas or Easter, I would eat, live, and breathe that music. I carried it with me in the car. People probably thought I was crazy. I went over into the corner of the Capitol Mall. It's a mall down in Jefferson City, Missouri, and I was working in that area at that time. And I'm sitting there listening to it and directing it in my car, and I'm sure they looked kind of crazy whenever they were going past. But I would have it in the car. I would listen to it coming and going from work, just constantly going through that music over and over and over again till my soul had it memorized. And even then, you make mistakes. So it's just so important to keep it with us. We have Kenneth from Missouri, and he has a number. Oh, he dropped. All right. We need you to call back, Kenneth, if you're still listening. 877-895-5410. Let's move on to number 3. Perhaps we have them stumped on number 2. Let's move on to number 3 and read that.
Okay.
Amendment.
This is from the executive branch of our decks, and according to the 12th Amendment, if no candidate for president wins a majority, the election is decided by the A, House of Representatives, B, the Senate, or C, the Supreme Court. I'll read it again.
Yes.
According to the 12th Amendment, if no candidate for president wins a majority, the election is decided by the A, House of Representatives, B, the Senate, or C, Supreme Court. So that's question number 3.
All right, 877-895-5410. We have Bruce from Illinois. He thinks he has the answer to question number 2. Bruce, how are you doing today?
Hello, Beth. Beth, the answer for number 2 is actually 9.
Yes, you got that right.
There's a little backstory to that I don't know if even your guests are aware of. When they started the original Constitutional Convention, they figured they needed 9 total of the colonies to ratify it, to become, to make it binding. But they actually had to make a political compromise. And in the first article of amendment, where it states that Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment or free exercise of religion, they actually had to add that in there to help get the ratification through as part of the bargaining process, because some of the states had their own state religion, and they didn't want the states. Some of the states wanted to keep their state religion, so that was actually a compromise. There was 8 states that had signed on, and to get the 9th one, they had to make that compromise.
All right. I appreciate it, Bruce. Thank you.
You want me to answer number 3 for you, too?
No, we're going to give somebody else a chance to win the Constitution game. But I do want you to give, your name just went into the blue popcorn bowl. So I want you to give my producer your phone number so we can call you after the show.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Bruce. All right. I'm not sure. I'm checking my phone here to see if we have any more callers. No, not yet. So Bruce gave us a little enlightenment on that. And I'm going to read question number Did you have something to say on that, Pam or Dave?
You know what? Well,
we got music.
Oh, that's okay. All
right. We'll hold on to it. You're listening to CSC Talk Radio. This is Constitution Trivia Day, and we have another one coming up in December. So these are perfect gifts for Christmas. They're perfect gifts for birthdays. They're perfect gifts for any time. And you know what? Everyone's coming together for Thanksgiving. It's a good game to pull out and use on Thanksgiving Day. I'm going to take mine home. I keep it here in the office, but I'm going to take mine home and see if I can't get the kids interested. They're always bringing tons of games to play, and I think it's time they played this one. 877-895-5410 is the number to call. That's 877-895-5410. Constitution Trivia Day, and we will be right back.